Oh, and boobs. My boobs are gone. Love the people who love you. All right, hi guys. So I am back with another video, and today I want to do a video that I watched a lot before I had surgery, and it was things. The titles were always like 10 things I wish I knew before I had surgery, or 5 things I wish someone had told me, or things like that. So I basically want to go down my list of things that I wish I had known about myself or for myself before surgery. It might not specifically pertain to what you're going to go through or have gone through, but this is just what I wish I would have known for myself before my surgery. So number one is, like I've told you guys in almost every video, is that this journey is your own. Your journey through weight loss surgery and losing weight is going to be a struggle sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be really happy. Sometimes it's going to be really frustrating. Sometimes it's going to be happy. I mean, people are going to be happy for you. People are going to talk crap about you. People are going to say things that just make you want to... and you're going to have to just be happy for yourself and knowing that what you're doing for yourself is right, and that everybody is different. Just because somebody else has gone through this doesn't mean you're going to go through this. Or just because this happened to you doesn't mean somebody else is going to happen to them. So be kind. Be nice and understanding to other people who are going through or contemplating this surgery, because just because it went wrong for you or just because it went right for you doesn't mean that that's going to happen to them. Everything is subjective in the weight loss surgery world. So this is your journey. Be happy with it. Make the best decisions for yourself. And that leads me into number 2, which I wrote down: make good choices. And what I mean by that is what we all know. Make good choices in food and activities and exercises and, things you're supposed to be doing. I am the first person to admit that I do not work out nearly enough. I don't really work out at all. But I am an active person. I have no problem going out and walking all day and doing things with my friends and family, and if we sporadically go on a hike somewhere, or we walked around Disneyland literally from open to close all day long, and I did not sit down once. I did not get tired. My feet didn't hurt. My knees didn't hurt. So those are the good choices that you make, especially food. And we know what we're supposed to be doing: high protein, low carb, as little amount of fats as possible. I still drink protein shakes and eat protein bars every now and then. They say you're not supposed to by this point, but